This tutorial is going to help you complete Dreamweaver project number 2, which is using a Spry widget. A Spry widget is basically some canned JavaScript and CSS that helps you create dynamic websites that allow you to interact with a web page. So there's a scenario involved with this one. The scenario goes like this. The webmaster on the Mentor campus has heard that your class has been working with Spry Widgets, and she'd like you to create a web page using either the Spry tabbed panels or the Spry accordion widget to list the athletic schedules for the sports that are available at Mentor High. So where I'm going to get my information is right from the mentorhigh.com web page. So here's all about our sports if you need to look it up. And I've already kind of pre-typed up in my notepad here some basic information that I'm going to put into these widgets. Alright, so to get started, I'm going to click on a new HTML document. Now this comes up in my code view, but I'm going to go ahead and hit design view. And then we're going to click File, Save As, and the first thing that we're going to do is save this as schedules.html, and then click Save. Alright, on to step 3. We're going to enter in a title for this page, so I'm going to call this MHS Sports. And up here we're going to add a header for the document, so just call it MHS Sports Schedules. Now when I hit return here, I'm going to select that particular paragraph and I'm going to change it to heading 1. Alright, now for the big part. Under the insert menu, you're going to see some Spry widgets, and we get to choose one of two of these, do both. First, there's the Spry tabs panel, so we could use this one or we could use that one. So let's start with the panels. I'm going to go ahead and insert a panel. Here you can see that there's a couple of tabs here, and down here is where you can add or subtract. If I take one out, you can see what happens, but I'm going to add 2 more. Alright, and the title of these are going to be Fall, Winter, and Spring. Okay, and then I need to put some content in here. For that, what I'm going to do is, since I've already got some content that is going to save me a little bit of time, I'm going to copy and paste. So again, I got all of this basically from this website, and I'm just ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the split, and then I'm going to paste into this area right here an ordered list. Okay, so my fall tab is set. Now I'm going to set my tab for spring, winter. So let me go ahead and grab this, copy it, and I'm going to find my winter content. I'm going to paste it into here, and I'm going to also find my spring content and paste it in where it goes as well. Alright, so now if we just take a quick preview of where we're at, it's going to click Save. If I tab through these, you can see I have an interactive tab on the page, and it gives me what's going on with Mentor Sports in each tab, fall, winter, and spring. Alright, I'm going to go back to Design View, and I think we'll take a look at the next step. Alright, so we've done number 5, and we're going to go on to number 6, design the page using colors to complement your school website. Alright, so to do that, we're going to have to edit the CSS. Now, the CSS is something that we can edit just by clicking into a particular object, like we can click on these tabs or into the content pane, and then we just need to kind of identify which CSS style to edit. So here I'm going to right click in the content pane, slide down to CSS Styles, and it's telling me that I'm working with the tabbed content or tabbed panels content. So over here you're going to see CSS Styles. I'm going to find tabbed panels content, and I'm going to double click on it. When I do that, I can adjust the background and also the font color. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change the background color to a darker gray, and the font color I'm going to change to white. Click apply. Then for the tabs themselves, there's two different kinds of tabs. There's the currently selected tab, and then there is the one that's not selected, along with hover controls, and we're going to edit all three of those. So I'm going to select into here. I'm going to find out which style I need to edit by just clicking on CSS Styles, and then here it says the tabbed panels tab. There's going to be the hover, and there's also going to be the selected, and we're going to do all three of these. Okay, so over here I've got just the generic tabs, and I'm actually going to take out the borders. So I'm going to take this out, I'm going to take that out, this, and this. And I'm going to change the background color to a dark black. No, I take that back. I'm going to change that to red. Alright, so these are the deselected ones. I'm also going to add one property, and that's going to be the font color. So I'm just going to put color, and then I'm going to select white. Alright, now I'm going to click on the selected tab, and I'm going to find out which CSS style to edit. That one is going to be the selected one. So I'm going to click in here, double click, and I'm going to make that background match the content pane. So here I can click in this, and it gives me a little eyedropper. If I forget which one I selected, I can just select any of the color that's in here, and it will find the match. And then I'm also going to make the color of the text white, and click OK. Alright, now I want you to see here that there's a slight line in here indicating there's a break between the tabs. So we're going to adjust that as well. So in the tab panel, you're going to see a style called margin. And here, basically it works like a clock. So there's 4 properties here. So think of this as like noon, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock, just going right around the dial. So this is top, right, bottom, left. And what I want here is I just want to add a 1 pixel margin, and here if you saw that, it kicks out the bottom a little bit and adds a little bit of space to this. Okay, so that's going to help push that down, and we also need to take care of the hover. So I'm going to go ahead and double click on this, and right now let's take a look at what the background color is. It is a light color, so I think what we'll do is we'll make the color of the hover text black. Alright, now let's see how that looks for us. So I'm going to preview this in Chrome. Alright, so when I hover over this link, it changes to a light gray, but the text goes to black so that the light gray on white would be hard to read. So we're not going to have that. Okay, so now if I click on each, we've got an interactive panel here that shows me different content every time I click. And let's go ahead and make the same thing with a accordion panel. So I'm going to click File, New, I'm going to select HTML page. I'm going to immediately save this one as well. I'm going to click File, Save As. I'm going to call this Schedules -alt.html. So this is the alternate design. And for this, we'll say MHS Sports as the title. And again, I'm going to put the same thing I put over here. So I can probably select that whole tag, copy it, and put it over here. But this time around, we're going to enter the accordion widget. So I'm going to go hit the insert menu, slide down to Spry, and then I'm going to select accordion. Now this one's going to act a little bit differently, so let me go ahead and preview this and show you the difference. Click OK throughout all of that. What the accordion does is it acts like an accordion. Every time you click a tab, it's going to slide up or down. And we're going to want 3 of those as well. So that's a quick preview. So if I select the whole accordion, I'm going to need a 3rd tab, one for fall. So I'm going to type in fall. I'll put fall sports, winter sports, and spring sports. Alright, the content's going to be virtually identical, so I'm just going to copy this over into the accordion. And let's see if I can select this winter. Copy this to winter, which again you have to select this and then select the proper panel content. And then lastly, we're going to get spring. So I'm going to copy spring over to spring sports. Okay, so now we have content in each, and now we have to style it. So the first thing I need to do is I need to identify which CSS style I am working with. So if I just click, for instance, if we click in the content here, this one is the accordion panel content. So if I go over here to styles, CSS styles, and then click on the content, let's make this, or let's double click in this, if I can select off of it, double click, click background, and I'm going to make this a little darker. I'm going to make this dark gray. Now you can see the dark on dark is not good, so we're going to add a property for the text color, and that's just color, and I'm going to select white. Alright, that's much easier to read. And that's going to affect all of these panels because that's the cascading nature of the styles. Alright, next let's get up here into these headings and we'll check out the styles here. So it looks like there is the panel tab. So let's go ahead and change that. We'll change the color to, see what red gets us. Alright, so there's the red panels and then there's the selected gray panel. But the black on red is hard to read, so let's try to change that as well. Let's add that color property and we'll change it to white. And then it looks like the gray property for the selected tab, let me go back to the selected tab. Oh, that's the open tab. And that's going to be black. Alright, and there's going to be an effect in here that I'll have to show you that we're going to have to change. If I preview this in Chrome, save everything. Everything looks fine right now. We're going to have to adjust the hover, but here's what happens when you click it. Those colors go away. So what we need to do is we also need to change one more setting, and that is going to be the focus. So when you click something, it receives the focus of your mouse. So that's the emphasis. That's where on the screen that you are currently interacting with. So we need to change it for the tabs and for the open. So here we're going to click this background color, and I believe this one we're going to set to black, and then no, that one's going to be the red one. So we're going to set this to red, and then click OK, and then we're going to select this as the black one. So the open tab is the one that we're currently working with, and then the accordion panel tab, those are the unopened ones. Click apply, and then lastly we got to deal with the hover. All right, so here's the hover, and the background color was hard to see, so we're going to go with background color, and then let's change that to perhaps this against white. Let's see how that goes. Save everything. Yes, that's much better. And when we click, we need to change that maybe. The hover of the open tab needs to be probably a little lighter. But other than that, we look pretty good. So let's go ahead and change that. So accordion tab open hover, that should probably be white. So let me go ahead and click preview in Chrome. And we click through this, and the hover looks good, everything else looks good, and we've got a completely dynamic accordion here. Okay, so those are the two options for our web pages. Let me go ahead and put them side by side. We can make a tab panel, or we can make the accordion.